Hey there UK DCers, today I have the Isham Bladeworks Blackstar V2. The V1 was released, I think it was just in the US, and it had G10 scales instead of this lovely titanium. I can already tell you just from looking, I much prefer the V2. This is designed by Elijah Isham, of course, and I believe it's manufactured by We Knife of China. There are two variations available for purchase in the UK. The one I have in carbon fibre for £290, or the Damascus inlay version for a jaw-dropping £430. Expensive either way, so what do you get in the box? You get yourself a nicely designed box here. You get yourself this pouch with the Isham Bladeworks logo on it, and that's it really, no cloth stickers if you care about that kind of thing, which does seem a little bit disappointing at this price range, but you know, some people really do not care about that stuff, they just want the knife, so you know, depends on you I suppose. The action on this, it needs breaking in. It's a D10 ball knife, so it doesn't have a spring, it's just two like arms with little D10 balls that fall into slots on this either side, and it holds it lightly open or closed. It's very stiff when you first get it, and that's pretty underwhelming to be honest. It does however break in, and the action becomes pretty good, though it does still occasionally not fire out the whole way, but that's more likely user error. That said, there is something else to be wary of when you first get this, and it's these metal hooks here. These are to catch these two stop pins here, so they fall there in the closed position, and then all the way up there they just fall into there in the open, and that obviously helps secure it, stops it going any further this way. Unfortunately, what they also do is if you put your whole finger up here instead of, if you put your whole finger up here and then just try to flick straight down like that, quite often you'll end up just catching yourself in there. And then it's already done it right now. It's sort of these two bits here will pinch you. Your skin will get caught under there. And when I first got it, I actually tore up my finger a little bit, and I ended up for the first like couple of weeks having to open it up like that with my thumb, which to be honest worked perfectly well. However, to avoid this fate, you should apply pressure just to the very, very tip of that, and then pull sort of more outwards rather than straight down. There you go, and you'll get a nice action like that. And you can just, and it won't shred up your finger anymore, although I do still quite like firing out like this because it's easier to put away again, more fiddly I guess. So this runs on phosphor bronze washers, and it has Torx hardware, T8 for the pivot and T6 for these back two here. It is a free spinning pivot, so you'll need a Torx on both sides to undo it or adjust it or anything like that. The scales on this are very elegant. Isham is known for his more out there designs. Take the Plamora as an example here. Very sleek and modern, extremely unique, perhaps a little wacky. The Blackstar is a very modern knife, but I wouldn't call it wacky at all. It's just more refined in my opinion. Still unique, but not super in your face about it. Just clean lines on stonewashed titanium with an elegant carbon fibre inlay there. Talking of which, would you take a look at that carbon fibre? Is that not just gorgeous carbon fibre there? I can only imagine how beautiful the Damascus is in person. £140 is asking quite a lot for an inlay swap, however, even if it is Damascus. Were it less of a difference, you know, maybe 80, who knows, I might have bought the Damascus one, but I'm chuffed I can finance either of these, so it's not really a complaint at all. It comes with a lanyard pin on the back here, saving the lines being spoiled by a possible hole here or anything, which is lovely. And it has a non-reversible, non-removable pocket clip, the clip works, and it's sort of almost deep carry. It'll look like this in your pocket. So you do get a little bit, but it's not super knifey. Do you know what I mean? The knife otherwise seems suitable for the left-handed. The long pull is on both sides, so you can, you know, operate it like a standard non-flipper knife if you want. And the flipper action, whilst it's definitely a lot easier with my right hand, because of the pocket clip, I grab it here with this and then flick it like that. It is still somewhat doable with my left hand. It's just not as easy. And of course you can always just, oh, that is difficult with the left hand, flick it with your thumb like that with either. So it's entirely ambidextrous. It's just that pocket clip, you can't really remove it, so you're going to have it sort of that way in your left pocket, I guess, and then pull it out, turn it around, and then give it the old flick open. It is more ergonomic than the size would lead you to believe. I'm not usually a fan of smaller knives due to the grip. This one is most definitely an exception. It fits great. If you have a look at sort of where my fingers fall there, your first two have sort of this much gap, and then your back two fit on this little bit here. So you really do get a full 4-finger, 3.5 maybe on this, but they do all fit on there, and that's super points for me. I really do. That's usually the killer on smaller knives, and this is a smaller knife. All that's written on the product here is 20 CV, which is visible there, and well, I guess that way around there, so closed and open, and you've got the Isham Bladeworks logo there with Isham in at the top. That's it. There really is no other text on this knife anywhere, nothing about where it's made or anything like that. So yeah, it's got great fit and finish, centered as you can see there. There is no side to side play, and there's no up and down either, not that you'd want that on a slip joint at all anyway. There's no places for my nails to catch or anything, even, you know, this back thing here you'd think, but nope. So that's all good. No excessively sharp edges. They're all very, I don't know if you can see that, they're all very lightly chamfered. You can see that extra edge they put on them there, which is very nice. And yeah, the only things that I can point out are really sort of these hooks that catch you here are there. I guess that counts as a sharp edge. That definitely does grip you. And it's this line here, which, yeah, I really don't like that. It's not deal breaking, but if I could change one thing about the knife, it'd be, I'm not even sure there's anything you can do about it, but that'd be it for me. You know, I guess you'd have to make it an integral, but I don't know how you'd go about that with this. So, did it keep its edge? Let's have a look. I, of course, have not stropped this or anything like that, as I usually don't. And let's see if it's still as sharp. There we go, and oh, there is a little bit on here that's not happy. Or is that just me? Yeah, I think it must have dinged something. Ah, yes, I can see exactly where that is as well. So, yeah, there you go. You can see it right in the middle. Oh, that's so hard to get to focus. There, right there. Like, basically dead center of the camera. There's a little shiny spot. That is I must have hit something in a bit of cardboard or something, or doing something. Otherwise, it's held its edge admirably. But yeah, I must have just dinged something with that, I assume. But there you go. The blade is 20 CV, as you've seen, and it has an exceptional brushed sort of finish on it. If we can get that. Look at that. Really, there you go. Really, really gorgeous finish on that. You got that nice swedge up top. That beautiful clip point. The sweeping swedge there. And that really nice long pull. I've got to say, I'm a huge... Like, the blade on this is just so nice. And then it's just sort of brushed straight up top. Really like that. And you do get yourself a little sharpening choil on there as well. So, boom, stats are going to be here. Here are some comparisons for you. We have a mini grip, which is sort of in the same size range. A paramilitary 2. A 940. A Buck 110. UK PK. We have the small Diddy Victorinox, the Classic SD, which you can see is still a little bit smaller than it, and we have just a standard Victorinox Pioneer. So my thoughts on the Isham Bladeworks Blackstar. Needs a little kick. A little extra kick here or something. Now I know that would ruin this line, and it would ruin sort of this line here, but there's no way to stop this blade from closing on you, so it's that easy. So if you're someone that really doesn't like a knife that can just do that on you, this one really can, and there's nothing stopping it going straight into your finger there, which is definitely a downside. Isham himself has stated that this is really intended as a secondary. You can use it as a main, he said, but you know, it's designed as a secondary for your watch pocket on your jeans. However, I think a tiny little extension here, just going this way, would have perhaps made it even easier to flick out, and it would have just given you just something to rest over here that could have stopped it from doing that. Because this almost works, but it just doesn't. It would have come at the cost of this beautiful lines there, though. So there is that. The line on the back, no way around it. This is the worst part about this knife for me. Everything else is just so meticulously shaped and styled, and then there's that. I forgot about it after a while, but when you see it again, it's just a little disappointing. Not sure there's even a way you could solve that without going full integral, and this knife's expensive enough already, but you know, it's just that is the one thing I would change about this, even over having the protection of this closing on you. I would rather, you know, have this sorted, because I'm used to using knives carefully, being in the UK anyway, so there's that. Guess it's more of a me problem though, so depends if it's a you problem. Price, ooh, now it is in a very contentious price bracket. You're talking Liongmar Traveller money. You're talking Hindra XM Slippy money, and those two were my favourite knives of last year. They are still two of my favourite UK legal carry knives of all time. That's a difficult price bracket to be in, you know, near the £300 mark. And I do really like this, but I don't know if I'd put it on the same level as these. I'm still glad to have it, and I'm happy to have paid the price for it. But if I had none of these knives, I think I'd have definitely got the Traveller and the Hinderer first. That said, it is still a beautiful knife. Although it's in the same price bracket, it's not really in the same bracket as such. This is definitely a secondary knife, and these are both primaries. So at the end of the day, I'm very happy with it. Nice Slicers on Instagram has also stated he's very happy with his. He's got the same model, and you know, that's what's important. It's a lovely, very expensive, light duty gentleman's folder. So thanks for taking a look, and cheers.